let's get started. Today's topic, guys, it's gonna be a little short because I'm by myself today. My partner is camping, so he doesn't have internet. But yeah, okay. In the name of God, the most gracious and the most merciful. So today's topic, guys, we're gonna talk about mainly the sh- the the shackling of your mind. Right now, in these times, for us young people, we are the biggest investment for the powers of the world. Whether these powers are good, what like if it's the Pope or whether it's Donald Trump, these guys are investing time, money, effort, everything to control your guys' minds. It's the biggest thing on their agenda, right? And with this investment, if someone isn't aware of what they're thinking and how they're coming up to decisions, then you are pretty much just a pawn for these guys. This is why protecting our minds from these outside influences is it's a very important matter that we should think about and discuss. So we're gonna get into a list of few things that affect your thinking. The biggest thing is your personal emotions, right? So when you're not checking your emotions, and we've all been there, right? It's not a huge thing, but when you're not checking yourself and checking your emotions, you can do things that you really regret, and you only realize that you regret them after you've already done them, right? So imagine you're going about your day, your mom gives you a hard time, your friends give you a hard time, you're driving and some guy pisses you off. And in those moments, a lot of people act on that anger or that sadness, whatever it is. They act on it and only realize that it was wrong afterwards. Then you go and apologize and you try to make amends. But one thing you guys have to understand, which is very important, is that every time you're apologizing and not actually improving on that, then you lose value as a person. Your apologies, your sorries, you yourself as a character lose value. So a very important thing to understand is check your emotions. Don't make those mistakes. And when you do, learn from it. Don't repeat that shit over and over again. You can only say sorry so many times until that person is like, yeah, you're a waste of my time, right? The next thing, this is huge, guys. It's when you allow someone else's certainty in something become your own. So let's say someone is speaking super passionately, very confidently about a topic. Let's say you're listening to me right now, and my confidence and my passion in this topic is suddenly giving you confidence and passion. And you're sitting there like, oh yeah, this guy's right, when a lot of the things maybe I say or this other person that you're listening to completely go against your religious and moral beliefs. But subconsciously, you just suddenly start nodding your head and shaping your worldviews to make it like theirs. It's that confidence. It's happened so many times and it's led people into wars, into killing, into so many things that are completely against everything we've been taught from faith, right? And it all starts with letting your mind slip into this other person's POV, right? Just because they're super confident, they're super convinced on their topic. Finally, this is a topic which is somewhat Islamic, but it applies to Christian views as well. It's your nafs. Nafs. N-A-F-S. So in Islam, what we refer to nafs as, it's your innate, your innate desires, your ego, your pride, your greed, almost like similar to the seven deadly sins. That's what your nafs are. And when someone, let's say, who's super well versed in their religion, experiences thoughts that are fueled by these nafs, what this person would do is they would step back, think about why they're doing the thing they're doing. And they understand, hey, if this is like, is this my ego pushing me to do this? Is this my desires pushing me to do this? If so, they don't do it. And I'll give you guys an example of this. So, like I've mentioned before in past episodes, Imam Ali, the second prophet of Muslims, he was the second leader after Muhammad. There was a battle he was fighting, and in the midst of this battle, he gets into like a one-on-one situation with the enemy leader. And they're fighting, the battle has stopped, everyone's watching this fight. And Ali drops this guy to the ground, and he's about to strike the finishing blow, and this guy spits at him. And in that moment, everyone's watching. Ali just stops, and he lets the guy get up, and the battle continues. After the battle's over, they win the fight. His soldiers come up to him. They're like, "Hey, why didn't you finish the guy off? Like, why didn't you strike the ending blow?" And he says that in that moment, when the guy spat at me, I got really angry. And I didn't know whether I was killing him because of my anger or because of this war. And this war was a war where these guys were trying to invade this Muslim village, and they were slaughtering people. So it was a noble cause. So he was willing to kill this guy for this noble cause. But in that moment, he didn't know whether he was killing the guy because of his anger or because of that cause. So he didn't do it. And that's a very important thought process. Like, I'm not even going to assume to say like, oh, this is 100% true. It's a story, right? But that story gives us a perfect example of what our nafs are. And in that moment, when you experience it, you really have to think like, why am I doing this right now? Right? So, we see, guys, that a very huge thing, part of our daily lives as the youth, like I said, you guys are the target of the biggest investment in media and everything to control you. And it's a huge problem. We have to combat these influences. And what you have to understand is the role of your religion and the role of God in these situations. When you become well versed in your religion, in your beliefs, in your faith, what that does for you is it creates a moral core within you, a structure, a framework for your thought process. Then when you become well versed in it, you sit through situations and you break it down, understanding what is the most moral action here, right? We've talked about this before. Like, you can't commit a sin just because something is, you'll get something good out of it, or it's good for the greater good or something, right? In that moment, you have to understand, is this act a sin? And if so, you have to avoid it at all costs. And a religious framework lets you do that. There was this thing, very simple thing we saw, and it's a crazy thing to bring up, but I'm going to bring it up. And so we were watching the EDP documentary. It's crazy to bring this up, I know. But in that documentary, the guy asked him, like, oh, would you do it if it was legal? And of course, you guys know what I'm referring to. And he's like, hell yeah, of course I would. If it was legal, I'd do it. Or if no one saw, I'd do it. If I didn't get in trouble, I'd do it. And that's a thought process that, believe it or not, a lot of people have to a lot of things. You can ask so many people that same scenario, maybe different situations, but that same like moral position. Would you do something if no one found out? They would say yes. And that's because they lack that moral structured framework that comes from becoming understanding of your own faith and religion. Right? It's very important that you create that groundwork for yourself. What I want you guys to do as a drill, just for your self-benefit and improvement, is ask yourself whether the friends around you, are these friends furthering your progress towards becoming more faithful and creating this mental framework, or are they going against that? I want you to ask, are some family members pushing me the wrong way? And the way you have to ask these questions and find answers, like I said, is through that same religious moral framework, right? Maybe you come to the decision that, hey, this guy is kind of pushing me the wrong way, but maybe I should help him out. Maybe I should help him go the right direction, right? These things you have to break down in your head and find these answers. It's like a practice. When you practice over and over again with these scenarios and questions, in the end, it becomes a natural process. You become a truly great person who has the right answers for every bad situation. You can come out of bad situations with the right answer, with this sort of framework. Ask yourself about friends, family, leaders, politicians, teachers, parental advice, all these things. Ask yourself, are their words and beliefs the right thing? Are they good for my faith, or are they against it? And you can only do this, guys, believe it or not. A lot of you guys, a lot of us all call ourselves religious, but the lack of knowledge that we all have is so immense that we can't even be considered religious. You can only become a truly devoted religious person when you get a full grasp of all of these topics, to where when you're placed in these situations, you're the guy that has the right answers. That's the most important thing. That's the goal of our lives here. That's what we are trying to do every single day. By the time I'm 50, I hope I can become that person. Right? You can make money, you can do all these things, but at the end of it, we're all trying to go to heaven. And if money was the answer, which I really don't think it is, then why isn't that said anywhere? Why does God care so little about your wealth and so much about your character, right? In everything you read and everything you see, in every religion even. Not money, not status, none of that matters, guys. It's becoming that good human being that can decipher those situations and come out with the right answers. But yeah, it's a very short episode today, guys. I just thought it was a nice topic because when you become aware of it, your days become a lot harder. You're thinking so much more. The other day, I'll give you guys one final example, and then I won't keep you too long. But the other day at work, I came really late because the night before we went to watch the meteor showers, and we were I slept like at 5 a.m. and my boss was like, "You can come in whenever, it's fine." So I got in at like 10. Usually I'm supposed to be there at 8, and my coworker, she was there. So I asked my boss, and my coworker, she always tries to always be super honest with her hours. She doesn't stay she doesn't leave early, none of that. She's super honest with it. My boss comes in, I'm like, "Oh, can I stay late today to make up for my hours?" And she's like, "No, just sign it off. It's fine. I don't care." And in that moment, I thought "Oh, I'm getting this break from my boss. I'm allowed to just get 3 free hours while I was asleep." But this girl, throughout all of summer, she's never even took an extra minute. So is that really the right thing for me to do? And, I didn't do the best thing, but I stayed a little bit. I took an hour off my pay. I put 6 hours, 2 hours less. But, I should have taken off more, but hey, in that moment, I could have done better, and I kind of chose a little bit of the easy way out, just enough to make me feel good about myself. So it wasn't the right move, but that's what I'm saying. It's everyday things like that that test you, and whether you think it makes a difference or not, it does. When you become the type of person that always chooses the right way out, you become a righteous person, then in the end, you're gonna become successful, guys, in every aspect. But yeah, any questions or comments? Going once, going twice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll reiterate, guys. We've saved up $73 Canadian, which is I don't know, it's way beyond anything I thought. And you guys have to understand, we're saving this money up from $4 a person or $12 or $10 a person. So it's a lot of people coming together to make it work. So that's really beautiful, guys. So total we have 223 saved up, and we're gonna be sending that out in 3 days when I can cash out. Plus bookmarks are being worked on. I'm gonna figure out how to ship them to whoever wants them. I'll show you guys the designs later, but it's been a beautiful journey, guys. We've really come far, and so many of the comments you guys give me are so nice. Like, they make me feel so happy when I hear that you guys actually gaining something from this. So I really appreciate you boys, best group of people to do something like this with. And may God bring back your donations tenfold, boys, because you've really done a blessing for a lot of people. But yeah, that's everything, my friends. Thank you for coming out on this Saturday night when you probably had better things to do. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. And that's it. Bye bye.